Happy Friday night, my friends. We have a kind of a surprise. I figure, what the hell? Been doing more of these kind of impromptus. Let's see what happens. Mrs. L and I went perambulating in the neighborhood, had a nice little Friday date meal, and I came back and said, you know what? Let's talk to the kids. Let's talk to the kids and let's try something different. A lot of times we really don't just do plain old Q&As. And I know some of you will just talk and ask questions and nobody's answering. Well, we're going to fix that. Because tonight I'm asking you a very, very simple question. Very, very simple question. Is Donald Trump out of his mind or an evil genius? Does he possess a 4D, 5D chess, the likes of which we can't even fathom? Or is he out of his freaking mind? And our guest tonight, you. So get ready. Let's go. Let's talk. But first, this important and critical word about a world that is soon to be collapsing. When disaster hits, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on what you already prepared. Wildfires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, blackouts, EMP and grid attacks, riots, disaster. Get it? And when the warning comes, there's no time to search for flashlights or bottled water or first aid supplies while your family waits at the door. That's why My Patriot Supply created the fully stocked bug out bag. You've got to get this. It's a rugged grab-and-go tactical backpack packed with 60 emergency essentials, including food, water, shelter, fire, starting tools, lighting, first aid, and more. Everything is already packed and ready right out of the box. Keep one in your car, your home, your RV, your office, your cabin, because the emergencies never make appointments. And right now, you can get $100 off plus free shipping for a limited time. So act now. There will be no special invitation in life. Disaster always comes unannounced. Get prepared now. Go to preparewithlionel.com. That's preparewithlionel.com and click the link today. All right, my friend, let's get going. First of all, I hope you saw today our great interview with Sabby Sabs. What a great, great time I had. Smart with it. Incredible. I loved it. She was great. And goes to show you, I'm making her out to be like some kind of a radical leftist. I don't believe she is, but I do not think that, I don't think she's right, but I don't think it matters. And I wanted it to be where we spent time, and I spent time asking her questions just in general. And if you noticed, it was all about him. It was about her. It was very little about my take. It was just question. It was so funny when I finally asked, I think I said something once and somebody writes in, would you let her talk, damn it, you jackass. I'm thinking, I haven't said any. Anyway, some people are just pricks. So let me ask you a question. And listen, let's don't do things like use clinical terms. He's crazy. Crazy to me means insane. Psychopathic means a real psychopath. It doesn't mean evil, whatever. I really want to know specific. What is it? And don't forget, a week from today, Candace Owens, right here. Because I don't want to use these words crazy. Like, is Larry Loomer crazy? Crazy? I think she may have some behavioral issues. I don't think she's crazy. She might have rage issues. She might have insecurity problems. She's neurotic as hell. But crazy? No. Crazy to me is hospitalizable. That sort of thing. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Now let's talk about this. AMZ and others say he is compromised. What does that mean? What does that mean? Here we go. Trump is compromised. Hang on, where the hell is it? Oh yes, here we go. He's compromised. Trump is compromised. What the hell is that? Another one too. He's compromised. Here we go. He's compromised. What do you all have a script? 4D checkers. Get it? Listen, do me a favor. I'm trying my best. You're not funny. I mean, no, you are. Don't get me wrong. You mean well, but it's just, it's cute only to you. Let's leave the puns out of it. Let's really imagine you're on a really serious show, and you're not trying to be clever and punny and a paranamasiac. I'm going to put you in the penitentiary. Tell me specifically. I'm disappointed in Trump. Why? I think Trump has let the wrong people get access to his ear. Absolutely. He changed ever since the Butler assassination attempt. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Sabby Sabs, Langitis, Languia. How do you pronounce? What the hell does that mean? How about a name like Mary? Would it kill you? I think she was great. Trump is compromised. I think Trump has some gaps. I don't. Let me tell you what I think about Trump. Honest to God, seriously. Uh and don't say you were hoodwinked, Ames. Don't say you were hoodwinked. People change their mind. They just change. Have you ever been? Have you ever been? Look at this. I'm pretty. Look at this, JK. I'm pretty sure Larry actually was in a mental institution. Haha. Can't wait for your Candace Owens interview. You know what? I think somebody had mentioned the fact that Larry Loomer, well, she can't possess a gun. She might have had some problems. I don't know if that's sad, but she's just not. Put it this way: she's somebody that if I would say she's dangerous. I would tell a friend, don't ever date her or know her. She's somebody who comes across to me as a stalker. You know, this is a behavior disorder, anger management. Not, not clinically crazy, but Trump has not. Look, I gave up on this, disappointed. Have you ever heard of somebody who was you marry somebody or they marry somebody and this son of a bitch turns on them, cheats on their wife, cheats on them, and you say, I'm disappointed. How do you know somebody's going to cheat? How do you know somebody's going to lose their mind? How do you know this? You don't know this. You don't know this. I thought Trump would help the American people gain trust in the system. He came in. This is the part. Let me tell you about what I think Trump is. This is what I think. First, when he's great, he's great. But I don't know when he's going to be great. I don't know when he's going to be great. I don't know when. I'm not sure. He may come in one day tomorrow and say, I know that people in Mrs. L's line of work, and not just Trump, everybody, they don't know what the hell, who's Zuckerberg owns everything. Everything. Forget APAC. APAC is such chicken shit. They keep making out. Well, granted, Adelson might be involved in war, and death and destruction. But if you want to compare about actual people who own Congress, it's absolutely 100% it's big tech. 100%. Trump comes in on one day and he'll tell you this. It could be an hour later, go, nah, forget it. You're in, you're out. You're in, you're out. I think he likes people that he thinks looks good. I think he's very superficial in some respects. I'm never going to talk about the president's wife. I know nothing about them. You know nothing about this. But I think it means a lot for the president to be around people that he believes or he thinks is beautiful or sexy or whatever. I think he could meet you and you could say, you know what, this is, you could be the funniest thing in the world to him. But if you're not hot in his own mind, forget it. Remember, Candace mentioned he spoke with Charlie and Andrew Colvett. He said he would take Miriam's money. Oh, yeah, and F her over. I think that was Butler. Could be. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. And by the way, your name, can we call you Languitas? Can we give you a name? How about like Mitzi? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think he is profoundly interested in the superficial, not the depth, the superficial, the gold, the pond. If it's true that he got some half-ass donor with problems to contract the waiting pool, the reflecting pool pond, and what with the algae. I mean, you know what the worst thing to me is? Having Oval Office outside the Oval Office, like a Cracker Barrel thing. But deep down inside, is he a bad guy? No. Does he seek to do evil things? No. Does he have a very rudimentary sense of black and white and good and bad? Yeah. But something came along. Somebody got him. And they just, it seems to everybody else, hang on. And yes, linguitis disease, if the tongue lingua too long, you call me Mary, my real. Call me Mary, my real. Love you and Mrs. Can call you Mary. Mary. Okay, very good. Mary. Maria. Renica. I don't think he's a guy who knows depth. I don't think he's a reader. I don't think he's into really a smart guy. Namaste, Lionel Nation and Lynn's Warriors. There's Stephen Salty, thank you. I don't think one of the smartest presidents we've ever had, believe it or not, in terms of understanding things, Jimmy Carter. Teddy Roosevelt was an absolute. I mean, he spoke Greek. Well, forget like the Thomas Jefferson era, but those days are over. I think somebody came along and they said, whatever you want regarding Israel, I'll do it. Now, is it because they compromised him? Is it because his name is on the Epstein stuff? Is it because they said, Butler? Who knows? All I know is whatever they did, Miriam Adel said, come on up here. She walks into the White House all the time and she controls me and her husband. And it's like, what are you saying? And she's probably saying, girl, maybe she liked it. And then one day he was shooting at some food and up to the ground came a bubbling crude. Oil, that is. Black gold, Texas tea. Where's that come from? Let's see if you're old enough to know that one. Bet you Mary doesn't know. Bet you Mary doesn't know. Okay, so then he's got the Ben Shapiro group, the Mark Levin group. Mark Levin, who is losing his mind. And then one day, Beverly Hillbillies. When we used to do bluegrass, we would end with the Beverly Hillbillies at the end. Would absolutely kill the audience. Kill them. BH. Maroon, you lazy BH. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, then one day he decides, that's it. I've had enough. And he sends J.D. Vance to basically tells a Smotrich and oh God, you know what I'm talking about, the other one. He basically reads them a riot act, but doesn't mention Bibi per se. And they're thinking, what happened? What? And in the Israeli paper that Adelson owns, they were betrayed, backstabbers. What happened? What happened? When we were kids, this is so terrible. You do this to boys, would do this, not to girls, and you'll see how what. You say, what was the name of that guy? And you always put your hand like in front of his chest. What was the name of that guy on the Beverly Hillbillies? Jed, and they say, clamp it, and you would grab like the nipples of your finger. Start squeezing. And remember that? What's worse than A navel destroyer, a titty twister, all these stupid jokes when you were a kid. Don't ask me why people did. I have no idea. I have no idea. We did it. We were young. We were stupid. How about this one? I bet you. Here, put your hand in front of your face. Now, I bet you I can hold back your hand with one finger. Pull it hard, and you let go, and the guy hits himself in the head. It's not funny, but Catholic school, purple nurple. Look at this. Unbelievable. How salty libs. Great. All right. I don't know who that is. Once will do it. All right. That's enough. Salty libs. Salty. You're scaring me now. You're looking trollish. You're looking trollish. No trolls, please. Let's be nice. Every now and then some asshole comes along and just, it's like, are you kidding? It's like, let's just be, please don't destroy this. We don't want to put you some kind of like timeout, like you gotta like one of these weird bicycle helmets, like he's in timeout. You know? Take it easy. Just take it easy. Going back to Trump, he had enough. And I'm listening to everybody today. I'm listening to, by the way, Breaking Point, phenomenal. Everybody's going. Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, they're just saying, Sachs, McGregor, everybody. They're wondering, what the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on? Tell me why libs burn the flag. What planet are you? Who's burning the flag? Where are you from? Come on, man. I know you're trying to be, but you're ruining this thing. Come on. Burning flags? You libs? What is this? Come on, man. Elkie, Medina, I'm doing the best I can. I don't like this. It's not my nature. But it's like you got to be a good bot. You got to be better. Ease into it. Ask something that's good. That's all. That's all. It's one of those things you got to ask yourself. Just take it easy. Take it easy. But anyway, but the question that I have, which is really, 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 really important, and I mean to tell you, the question I have is very simply this. How is it that he has changed so much? What is happening now? Do you remember when there was absolutely this incredibly important, this critical time for us where we thought Trump is really going to do it? He's going to do it. Do they have any idea? The real anti-Semitism, the real anti-Semitism that has been spurred and inspired by this? Do you understand this? Do you think they understand it? By the way, look at Paulie Cigars. Paulie, do me a favor. I got to call you. I got to talk business with you. Paulie Cigars, my man from Arthur Avenue. Go see him. Honey, it's Paulie. Paulie Cigars. My wife gives you the best. What a guy. What a mensch. Hi, Lionel. Barron wants to interview Tucker and Buckley Carlson. Can you let them know? Please help out Barron and hook him up. Love your show. Barron wants to interview Tucker. Well, tell Barron to call me. He knows how to reach me. What the hell's going on with you? Thank you. Thank you. Barron's a good egg. Did you see how they were trying to start this crap the other day that he and Candace weren't getting along? Come on, man. That's my whole. That was. Remember when bless his heart. Now I'm doing it. When Biden was going, come on, man. What is Biden now? Oh, did you? Oh yeah, did you see him at the Obama thing with that cheese grater? What is going on? And would you do me a favor? Would you tell Bono, shut the up? Come on. Bill Clinton didn't know what the hell he was. Bono. Let me ask you something. If you were the president and you could have anybody you want to do your library, who would you get? Who are these hacks? Springsteen, you see all that face? His face looks tighter than a snare drum. He's just like, get born to run. It's over. Who else was there? I would get KRS-One. That's the guy I want to interview probably more than anybody. Well, no, Candace and Tuck eventually, but yeah, but KRS-One, anybody knows how to reach him, let me know. He was so ahead of the curve. Oh, I'd get some really hardcore bluegrass. I'd probably get Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel. I would get some real hard bluegrass folks. And they're dropping like flies. Maybe Billy Strings. I get Molly Tuttle. Tommy Emmanuel. Oh, I would have a rip snorter. Jerry Douglas. Oh, God. On Dobro. Anyway, but that's me. I don't understand what's... They're going to lose the House in midterms. They're going to keep the Senate. And I'll tell you what, when I talked to Sabby today, Sabrina, it's funny. She was talking about she's disgusted with Obama, disgusted with. She thinks that I said, who's going to be president? She said Gavin Newsom. I don't know about Gavin Newsom. Johnny Mathis, Koki Moki. Are you kidding? Have you seen Johnny Mathis lately? Ooh, I wouldn't recognize him, and he can't do it. And it all, I don't. Remember when John Biner used to do imitate? Look at I get missed. It was that Johnny Mathis. Like, what the hell was that? That weird thing. By the way, don't say libtards, Betty. We don't use that term anymore. It's old. We just say tards. Just tards. Just cover them all. They're not liberal. They're not liberal. You know what I'm saying? Rick Jackson, Frankie Valli. You'd have Frankie. Wouldn't it be great? You'd have Frankie Valli. Oh, Engelbert Humperdinck. Have you seen him? He's still there. Have Frankie Valli, Frankie Valli's brother, Bobby Valli. Have you seen him? We used to go to a place called, well, I'm not going to say it, but it's in Caldwell, right across the street from Grover Cleveland's birthplace. I put it to you that way. And they kept saying, coming up, Bobby Valli. Who's Bobby Valli? Frankie's brother. It goes, Frankie's brother. And we kept saying, we got to go see Bobby Valli. Bobby's not looking too good. Frankie is, as we say in West Tampa, arrebatado. He's deep fried. He's crispy. He's gone. He is gone. They would reel him out. Even Glenn Campbell at the end, where he didn't know where he was, he could play the guitar. Bobby can't even make it. Frankie Valli couldn't even make a fist. I mean, it was horrid. But I would go there and yell, yeah, more, very, very horrible. Out of his mind with dementia. Look at Noble Desco says, out of his mind with dementia. You'd be great breaking it to families. You know what I mean? Appearing with Frank Stallone. That's great. How about this? Andrew Ridgeley. Get him, the guy from, maybe Andrew Ridgeley, half of Wham, the moiety of Wham. Maybe he'll appear with Milli Vanilli. Or is it Millie? Or is it Villy? Look at this. Oh, look at this one. I struggle with Savvy and share opinions often. She's so smart, doesn't seem to be liberal, and calls a spade, but then she likes peeps like the Squad and Newsom. So what? Don't you have friends of yours? Don't you have friends that are, how do I say this? Friends that are just stupid? Don't you have relatives that go, oh, God, you're going to meet my brother Dave. Look, he's okay, but he's just, I love the guy. So what? If she likes Newsom, it's okay. I understand it. What? I'm supposed to say, listen, Sabrina, 90% of what you say, 95% is great, but because you like Gavin Newsom, I'm sorry, I got it. No, no. She mentioned today somebody about the Black Panthers. I can dig that. I understand that. There's a lot about Bernie Sanders that I like too. I liked his spunk. I liked his resolve. Mrs. Ellen and I were in Brooklyn one time at some particular event. Oh, that was a nightmare. It was freezing, but we were in Brooklyn and there was some park and they were packed to see him. Boy, they threatened the hell out of him, probably with imprisoning his wife or whatever. Remember when he was sitting there crying like a little bitch at the DNC? Remember that? He was crying. You will never see me cry unless there's a death of a family member or something. I'm not going to be sitting there crying because I didn't get my position. It's like, come on. He's so gone, it's not even funny. Who is it? I like Joe Kent. I like Joe Kent. I like to say, Joe, yeah, listen. I didn't tell you this, but when you were sleeping, we had this device put on your balls, and it sends an electric shock through your body, but starting with your balls. If you let us down and you give us this song and dance about, oh, you're going to fight back, and I'm going to hit the button and we're going to fry you, starting with your balls. You understand that? This thing lasts forever. Solar powered. Joe Kent's great. Massey's great. Ro Khan's great. I'll take him. Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know what she's doing. Do you see where she was in the Avengers or something? She's doing the whole Yvonne DiCarlo thing, Lily Munster. She's got that thing, that Cruella DeVille, the stripe, that thing, that whatever that. I think deep down inside she wants to be free to be herself. I think she's good. And we need somebody who's really good with intel, somebody who looks scary, somebody who's real skinny, has a collar too big and wears a monocle and has a scar, somebody who just scares the hell out of people. And I want people to understand that you work for us. And I have no problem with having a strong intel, but not against us. Now, by the way, I'm going to tell you something. Question: what's the last movie you've ever been to in a movie theater? Name it. Last movie. Constitutional Convention? Never. Cold Mackie? Koki Maki? No way. No way. What was the last movie you saw in a theater? What was it? Last movie in the theater. What was it? Come on. Last movie. Because I'll tell you about this Toy Story, which I've been thinking about this the whole time. Bus Boys, The Green Book. The Green Book. Yeah, I saw that. That was good. That was with Viggo Mortensen. Blackula. Jaws. Lost Highway. Terminator. Look at this. No, I'm serious. Philippines 3000. Is that a movie or is that a porn series? What the hell is that? The other day, Gone with the Wind. How about Birth of a Nation? Reagan, remember that with Dennis Quaid? Poor Dennis Quaid. Once you start going that Republican route, it's over. Beautiful Mind. Anywho, so the other day, Mrs. L says, let's go see the premiere of Toy Story. So Numbnuts over here thinks, okay. I was thinking, shit. What was it, $35? No. Well, wait. It's like $35. I said, $35 a piece. God. I said, well, what the hell, we'll go. Then we got the senior discount. Guess how much they knocked off? What, $2? $2. I'm a senior. I'm a fucking senior. I'm hobbled by decrepitude. I'm wizened. I'm a dotard. I'm a codger. I'm a coot. I'm senescent, for God's sake. $2. Jesus. Sorry. I don't mean anything bad by that. I know I've got my great devout Christians. I mean nothing by that. It's not. I'm not taking anybody's name in vain. I'm calling, please, Jesus, help me. This isn't fair. So I went there. And there's this guy. I call him the general. I see him in the store. He doesn't get up. He sits in the chair. I don't know where they got this guy from. But he goes, "Oh, you're in the IMAX." I said, "IMAX? That explains it. We gotta take the escalator up, and this is the IMAX. The IMAX." I went in there. I said, "Okay, well, this should be good." And the previews were too loud. But I had been in the IMAX, I think, twice. And so I was sitting there with Mrs. L, and I thought, God, this is so stupid. J4, J50. There's nobody here. What do I'm waiting. I've got this ticket over here. This is so stupid. Why don't we sit over there? Well, all of a sudden, this thing fills up. I mean, like they sounded there, and there's kids and families. The kids, minimum ticket, $25 a piece for the IMAX. It was packed. 350. I don't know how many people there were. Families with kids, $25. Wow. So anyway, I'm telling you, there might be somebody somewhere to redo movie theaters, which I love. I still like artsy art house movies the most. Love them. Not adult theaters. I know what you're thinking. But it was so terrific. And to see little kids with their fathers and mothers. And, tonight it was so funny. We went to a place in the hood. Nice Italian joint. And we're sitting next to these two broads. Talking, their voice is like, I swear to God, I'd rather thumbtack my frenulum to particle board than listen to them. And talk like that. Anyway, and it's like, shut up. Your voice is carrying. You're right next to each other. And we're kind of like close together. And they've got these stupid tattoos. Like one had like scissors. Not even good-looking scissors. Not pinking shears. Nothing. Just like jail tattoos. Just shapes. A hammer. This is stupid. Not a message, let God judge or, born to lose or something. It was just, and the one she's with, whose voice was even more grating, had these things too. They're not even tattoos. They're like it's like they ran out of money to finish the tattoo. And to our other table, there's people from Spain. You can hear they do the feta. European. They were very happy because one just announced that they were pregnant. Very nice. Not a tattoo on them. Now, that's not to say that they don't have tattoos in Europe. I understand it. But it was a different world. Because tattoos, they're just. But you know what we're doing? I'm seeing a lot of things here. Number one, more people going to movie theaters. Also, more kids, more babies. Babies everywhere. It's like I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. And where's Alan Dershowitz? What do you mean you can't stand that Spanish lisp? It's the Castilian, El Castillo, Barcelona, Zeta, because King Castillo had a lisp. And supposedly the story was in order to appease him. I said, well, thank God he didn't stutter and jerk his head like, oye, ¿qué pasó? Está santo. Why do you do that? Well, the king did that. Well, stop doing that. It's interesting. A lisp in Castilian would reverse itself. If that makes any sense? Remember, Richard Pryor said, imagine a Chinese guy stuttering. Anyway, Dershowitz is on the new. Thank you so much. On the new. Don't worry about finishing that thing. Dershowitz must be thinking, What is happening? Look at this. I like this. I traveled to Turkey. I love that. Women won't even don't even wear polish on their toenails. Brava. Good. There's something. Oh, Dershowitz is on the new Kushner Island. I haven't seen him. He was on every single time. I'm very good at finding out who's there. I would be good in a buddy system. You know when you had to raise your hand, like we went in the pool. Did you ever do this? Did you ever do this? Did you ever do this? Where you go in the how do I do this? You go in this pool and you got to raise your hand. Think about it. You got to ask yourself the question: who's really in charge here? So anyway, my friends, there it was. There's a chance for all these people again to live, for us to go back, to have kids going to movies, to bring kids back, to have babies, to have things we're reading. And by the way, this Toy Story, and I mean it. I want you to understand something. It's not funny. Do you think I like this? Think I like living like this? All my life wanting to be an astronaut? Imagine being in a spacesuit. That's one of the funniest things. Scuba diving, being a center. Anyway, it's a story about how the devices can actually be raised and used to maybe help a little bit, but that kids want to play toys and to play with dolls. I think that's beautiful. We need to get this ball of worms straightened out. What the hell does that even mean? A ball of worms. Is that it? Who's going to be the next president, my friend? Let me ask you a question. Come up with something good. Who's going to be the next president? I think J.D. Vance. Why? Because of Peter Thiel. He's going to own everything. He's going to be a part of the secret organization. Anybody talking about that? Massey's not going to be the. Are you kidding, Chrissy? I love you, babe, but come on. Remember the prior joke where you light a match and wave it out and erratic, and then who's this? Yeah, it's Richard Pryor. Yeah, I remember that one. That's terrible. There were some jokes I can't do. Tucker's not going to be the president. Come on, Toy. Come on, man. No. You're kidding me. Trump is the last president? No, you say never Vance, no way. Oh, no. Peter Thiel will do this. He will rig every election. That's his bitch. What are you talking about? He wants to have a president. I'm not saying I like him. I'm not saying I want that. I'm telling you, put your money on it. Are you kidding me? If tech comes out for him to be full court press, are you kidding? Vance is paid. That's their bitch. What's going to happen to Erica Kirk? Let's think of some jobs for Erica Kirk that you would not. Did you see her recently where they went to people's homes? Did you see this one? Where they went to people's homes and they were in, I guess, Arizona, and they were in somebody's house and they all took their shoes off? I don't know what the hell that was. But they were talking to, there was Erica wearing the CK hat. You know, that Charlie Kirk hat looks like a Calvin Klein. You know what I'm saying? She copyrighted Charlie Kirk, but not CK. That's the Calvin Klein thing. Yeah, she is. But anyway, but she's still doing the best she can. She's still out there. I think Tucker will be happier doing what he does. He's never going to be president. You don't want him to be president. He can't be president. Once you be president, you're done. You turn into Trump. You walk around in the middle of the night and you're ordering. Did you see? Did you hear this stuff about? They said he doesn't live with Melania in his room. He's got rappers in the he eats late at night. He does silverware. He's miserable. He can't go out for the rest of his life. He was the most social. He wanted to walk into places and, hey, no, it's nothing. All day long, he got Stephen Miller. By the way, isn't he Donald Pleasance, the actor? Isn't Stephen Miller and that wife of his, aren't those two of the creepiest people you have ever met? Where's Tom Homan? What, Tom? Spit it out. What? What is it? How about Vivek Ramaswamy? Where the hell did he go? Remember, poor guy, he said, I'm going to get out of here. He was going to do the Doge. He pulled the Dan Bongina and said, I'm out of here. And Dan Bongina, Dan, could you get the haircut a little closer next time? What is that, spray painted on? What is that? What is that look? What is he so angry about? Who is, right now, the first annual Lionel Awards we're going to give, this is actually Trump, but we're not going to do that. Let's assume it's something else. The first annual award, I'm going to give first prize, or the first award goes to weirdest fuck of anybody. Just weird. Any category. Music, politics, government, somebody that we all know. This year's award for the weirdest person of them all. Who is the winner? And let's do a vote. And the nominees are Candace and Tucker are headed to be the next president. Candace is a kingmaker. Absolutely never. Okay, look at this. Kash Patel. And the nominees are Kash Patel, Peter Thiel, Kash Patel, that's Sue. I agree. I don't know what that means. Erica. No, she's not weird. She's just stupid. Dan Bongina. I think Cash is up there. Stephen Miller's wife. Candace is not the weirdest. Come on, no. Maybe it's Carp. Yes, Carp from Palantir. Ooh, Carp and Cash, 2 Ks. 2 Ks. And the winner is not the lint brush. Please leave the lint brush alone. Who was it? Pam Blondie, poor thing. Jared Kushner. You know, Jared Kushner is if you know Jared Kushner, let me tell you something. If he was charged with anything, if said, did you know what, Jared? This sounds weird, but they went into a barn in Tennessee, and there was this pig. Guilty. Let me finish it. Don't have to. Who was it? Jared Kushner. Guilty. I believe it. No, wait a minute. You know what he did to this barn? Guilty. Doesn't look at him. Whatever. Doesn't he look like he hasn't smiled? Like he says, and there's Ivanka, and we were on the boat, our friend's boat, on the Rothschild's boat, and we went out for a swim. And we said, hey, what's this island? They know, they discovered it? What are you, like Columbus? We're running around their bare feet. I go, come on, Jared. And Jared was like, because he hasn't said anything. Remember when he and it's like, are you kidding me? Mrs. Lindsey Graham? Well, did you see Lindsey at the night of the UFC? He was, he was just, you know what I mean? He was like a 3-peckered goat. That's all I'm going to tell you. Raisin Cane. No, he's not weird. Weird Al. You got to be more specific. Mark Levin. No, Mark is just angry. Lindsey Graham is weird. Blake Neff. You know what? Looney Larry Loomer. I think I got to tell you something. Just for the Larry Loomer, Kash Patel together, Lindsey Graham, Mrs. Lindsey Graham, Jared. I think it's Kash. I think Kash is just his is a I don't know. Wouldn't you just love to have Kash Patel and Larry Loomer together, just so you could see them, on TV, in anything, in any event? I think it'd be fantastic. It would be wonderful just to see them. Uh, Marco Rubio, believe it or not, by the way, has been Ben Shapiro. You right about that? PG sister, maybe a little strange, a little odd. And Pam Bondi, gone, gone. Paulie cigars. LOL, you're killing me. Paulie, you know a few people. You know. That's all I'm going to say. Don't mention them by name, please. For the love of God, don't. Trump is a scumbag. No, 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 no. You got the one. He may be a lot of things. I think he really went in there, really thinking, I'm going to do something. I'm really going to do. Remember at first, he was doing so much stuff. Remember this? Remember he was doing all this stuff, which was really trying his best. Remember Doge? Elon Musk. What happened to Doge? Remember they closed it down? Meghan Markle's a good one too. Meghan Markle isn't weird. She's just smart. She is. So anyway, I'm going to vote. I think number one, Kash Patel, the eyes. You've got Erica, who's crazy eyes, but Kash is bug eyes, cock eyes. I don't know what you're going to call them, wall eyes. He is just the scariest. Remember how he always wore raid jackets and FBI like a little baby, and he's taking FBI jets to pick up his girlfriend? I'm going to get laid, right? I'm going to get laid. Okay, Kash, please. He was so happy. Where is she now? I have no idea. And you know her career, her country career. You know that. Okay. Now, here we go. Number one, this is also important. Commentator. How do I say this? Who is the most, let's say YouTube, whatever, who is the most contrary, antithetical to you? By the way, the winner of that is Kash Patel. Number two, close second, is Larry Loomer. Larry's going to pick up the vote and a couple others. Who right now is the commentator that you just something on anything, could be TV, like I don't even think that what's her name, Joy Behar, matters anymore. You know that Rosie O'Donnell, they're probably, Mrs. L got it right. They're going to probably bring her back. Kimmel's going to be, they're going to put Rosie on kind of rotation, ease her back in. She's actually very good. She's better than Jimmy Kimmel, doing whatever the hell it was he's doing. But they're going to bring her back. By the way, did you know that Rosie O'Donnell is the only person who ever got a facelift and nobody knew it? Nobody knew it. Marty Feldman, reenactor. You're killing me. You're killing me. Somebody votes Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, you don't like him? That's your vote. That's fine. Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter doesn't have her juice anymore. She doesn't have it. She's just, TV is not her thing. She's great on radio. How do I say this? When she's doing it, she's a great guest. I just don't think anybody, she's like Newt Gingrich. It's like, it's over. It's over. You know what I mean? Bhatia Sungar. Ooh. Now we're getting there. For me, Barry Weiss, Don Lemon, Ann Coulter's into Substack. You know what? Ann had her chance. Ann Coulter, she had, you know what I mean? She was good, but she's into this thing where she's like almost like she's very good, very smart, but doesn't know how to do it. Brett Baer. You know, it's funny. It's like Brett Baer. Brett Baer. Remember when he was with Kamala? He destroyed her. Destroyed her. You know, some of the Devon Stack, Alex Cooper. I don't know these names. This might have been a bad category. I'll consider your votes. I don't. There's some. You know what's weird too? I gotta tell you something. Because of what's been happening in the Middle East and the war, there's a lot of folks. Oh, Lou Dobbs. Somebody mentioned Lou Dobbs was a great guy. It was on his show, it was on his radio show. He used to be on CNN. Loved Lou Dobbs. Great guy. Does Erica Kirk count? I guess she does count. I don't know. I'm trying. There's. What I was saying was there were some people who I just could not watch before. I was watching Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian. I swear to God, it was like long lost brothers. Rosie was great in the Flintstones, LOL. Remember when she says, "Hi, this is Rosie O'Donnell, star of the Flintstones." People said, "Star of the Flintstones, a cartoon." No, there was a movie. When? I don't know, 82, 83. What? This is terrible when you say star. It's like you go to have you ever been to a fan thing where people sign autographs? It's really sad. People say, "Who's that?" I can tell you these stories about how people would go and try to meet stars of theirs from soap operas, and they meet them and they're so mean. By the way, I was with Lou Dobbs one time at CNN right here at used to be at the we used to call Time Warner Center, supposed. Anyway, make a long story short, there is this Lou Dobbs in Hell with Rush. Come on, man. Come on, stop it. You see, you got to ask yourself, what kind of a prick just thinks it's like we're having fun. Say what you don't have to like Lou Dobbs, but Lou Dobbs is in hell. What? Anyway, so one day, Lou was big about the Amero, about the North American Union. He was spot on until they kind of got on about that. And then one day he said it was about immigration. I said, "Lou," I said, you want to arrest an illegal immigrant? You want to? He's like, "What?" Because I never tried. "Do you want to arrest him?" I go, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, order a pizza. Whoever shows up at the door, arrest them. And by the way, they're all downstairs in your lobby." The Time Warner Center, now it's Deutsche Bank. They had all these people, all these deliveries and Chinese and pizza. They're all for it. But he was a good guy. Lou Dobbs was a good guy. Really smart, really got it. I liked him a lot. Who's the guy that's always cussing out Candace Owens and he wears a beanie? You mean Ben Shapiro, that's called a kippa or a yarmulke, or I spelled it Y-A-M-U-L-K-A, but a kippa is actually the correct name. He's not wearing a beanie. Oh, Tim Pool? Where is Timmy? With that smelly edge wool thing? You got to say it like that thing must stink like a... Remember David Crosby then? He had that doily on his head. It's like a tea cozy or something. What the hell is that thing? You wear it. It's like, "Tim, it's 90 degrees here. What do you got this thing on?" "I got this wool cap." "What are you, a second story man? You're the Edge." Remember that guy on Long Came Bronson? You don't remember that. The guy that to me is the most, number one, the most obnoxious, I can't listen to him for a second, is Destiny. I can't take it. Anna Dodd says Alex Cooper is the Call Her Daddy podcast. Candace Owens talks about it. Yeah. Is Alex Cooper doing anything? Call Her Daddy? Wait a minute. Dana Lesh, widow. Dana Lesh, that's it. You know what? That's right. See, a lot of this stuff I just don't. I've never heard, a lot of these people have never heard. I've never heard a Howard Stern radio show, ever. Never heard a Rush Limbaugh radio show. I heard it, heard samples of it. Sometimes it'd be on the studio. I didn't listen to radio. The guy that I used to listen to all the time, from start to finish, I loved it, was Alex Jones. Alex Jones, I can't say enough about him. Brett Cooper, he was getting on my nerves too. Have you seen Neil deGrasse Tyson? Who's that guy? Chucky Nice, Nicey Nice, Davey Nice, Chucky Chuck, the guy who's trying to be funny. And Neil deGrasse Tyson does that fake laughing. You notice he's fake laughing. Like, have you seen that obnoxious Jerry Vale? What's Palestine? Ooh. Be careful there, Jero. I know you're a billionaire, but take it easy. Anyway, the way they laugh. I'm going to say something to you. Ooh, Tammy Bruce. Tammy Bruce hasn't been, yeah, she was, was a spokesperson for State Department or something. Yeah, Tammy, no, Tammy Bruce didn't quit from the government, is she? Tammy Bruce is still there, and she was she's a spokesperson. I guess. How about Ben? What's his name? Ben? Who's the black civil rights guy? No. You interviewed him one time. He's nice. Yeah. No, he's there. Ben, what's his name? The black lawyer. No. Oh, I can't. I swear to God. Lionel does not have all chat on. What are you talking about? All chat is on. What does that mean, all chat? What does that mean? What do you people mean? Not Ben Stein. Remember Ben Stein? Oh, God. Leo Terrell. God. My father, Leo Terrell, drove my father. Oh, Ben Crump. Ben Crump is just illiterate. Ben Crump and Ted Williams. Have you ever heard Ted Williams from Fox? Whenever there's anybody, I always thought Ted Williams had something to do with a shooting. If there's a shooting, he says, all right, it's Ted Williams, retired DC detective, unintelligible. And Ben Crump, Leo Terrell drove my father crazy. And Leo and I, a couple of times, we were at the OJ case, and we had a cell phone, and he was out there. And I said, Ben, if I call my father, would you talk to him? And I couldn't. Oh God, he would have lost his mind. He wouldn't have believed it. But Ben, I keep saying Ben, Leo Terrell. You know that stupid kid who said, I don't want to work with Jews. By the way, Johnny Cochran was a great guy. Charles Krauthammer, tragic. Al Sharpton, nicest guy in real life, completely full of shit. Worthless, he is just useless. Gone, finished, done. But anyway, Leo Terrell said, you know that stupid kid who says, I don't want to work with Jews. Kid's a complete douchebag for saying that. But they're going to ruin him for the rest of his life? But if he said he was anti-France or anti-American or anti-Catholic or anti-Christian, that would have been okay. But oh no. It's like, Leo, come on, man. You got to know when to stop sucking up. I mean, the kid's stupid. I agree. Don't ever say that. But to ruin him? Rachel Maddow, she's gone too. It's just over with. It's the end of the trajectory. It's the end of the trajectory. She She's a nice person in real life. I don't. She we worked together a little bit at Air America. That was an interesting experiment that went nowhere. But anyway, she was very very nice. But if she walked by you and you didn't know who she was, you don't know. She looked like she wore like railroad, like you remember those jeans like your grandfathers were wear, like they're like dungarees. They're not even jeans. They're like and before that Carhartt, they look like they're working on the railroad, like just dungarees. And she was very, very plain. And what you saw on TV, incredible. But she was very, very nice. Very nice person, no doubt about that. But she just, and they fell in love with her when she first came to MSDNC. Oh my God. Remember that? Oh, I've got a girl crush. I hate when women say I've got a girl crush. I hate that. I say, what are you? Are you a lesbo? Are you a sapphic? Are you a tribid? Nicole Wallace. No. Nobody's really got it. Oh, another one too, who I look at saying, oh dear God, is Joy Reid. It's like, what are you talking about? Did you hear Joy Reid had a woman on who said basically that Michelle Obama jokes lead to heart disease in the black community? And she's like this, okay. Joy Reid is like, it's over, Joy. It's just done. But you know what? You know who's doing his thing, believe it or not? Is Don Lemon's doing it. Anyway, but back to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He does this thing where he's trying to be like, he laughs. He's really smart. Oh, the one who also drives me nuts is that Piers Morgan. His idea is, let's put people together who hate each other. Let them scream. I don't have to work anything. I can do this British bullshit where people think for some reason I'm smarter because he thinks we're all a bunch of Anglophiles. Well, I say to you, perfide Albion, my friend. The perfidious Albion. You're a phony. You're ersatz. You're synthetic. You're boring. You have no original thought. You're a waste of flesh. Dear God, please. Fredo's still working. He's on that station nobody knows about. He's on that news station nobody knows about. Remember that Corinne Jean-Pierre? Oh, yeah. Right. Forgot about her. You're right about that blind boxer. Said that. Remember that with her, with that phony wig? And phony wig is redundant. Then there was Peppermint Patty. All right, that one. Jen Psaki. When they had that guy Cooper on. Remember that when they had, you're bringing back all these terrible, terrible, terrible. I'll tell you who's great to watch. Maureen Callahan is phenomenal. There's a couple of women. There's so much great. I thought I not forget the name. It's got not the heritage. Anyway, Hysteria. There are some great, great, great women. Maureen Callahan. There's two women who are, these are lefties, but they're brilliant. And they're people who went after Stephen Miller's wife, who was just crackers. Be just the whole crew. Remember when Pam Bondi was on? They go, yeah, well, how's the Dow doing? Excuse me, we're talking about Epstein. Oh yeah, how's your 401k? Miss Bonnie, do you know what we're talking about? No, I don't. Anyway, she's out of there, gone. Theo Vaughn, great guy, great guy, terrific guy. I worked for Piers Morgan in London in the late 90s. I'm glad I didn't strangle him and go to prison. Look at this. He is such a horse's ass. He absolutely is such a horse's ass. Oh, I used to like Kellyanne Conway. Argue with people. She was very good. Remember, she's married to that douchebag George and that nut daughter of hers. Remember George? George, who looks like he's a Prince Valiant, like he's a Disney character or something, like with a bad wig, and they say, "Oh, he's so brilliant." You know who used to get me all the time? Doris Kearns Goodwin. She had a facelift. She actually, it took, unlike Rosie's. Poor Greta Van Susteren can't get arrested. Just nothing. How about, what about, remember Guthrie, the lady? Remember who was kidnapped? That was it. What happened? I don't know. Nothing. Nothing. Piers Morgan, do you condemn Hamas? Should be his family name. He looks like Fred Flintstone. You're right. George Conway does. Prince Valium from Spaceballs. Yep. Remember Crossfire with Tuck? Tucker was with Crossfire when it was Tucker was Tucker and the fellow from the Clinton administration. It was with Jon Stewart. Theo Vaughn is a great guy. I did a review of him. I kind of analyzed some of his better work. I really like him a lot. I would love to sit around, if I could just sit around with Tucker, Candace, Buckley. Let me say, Uncle Buck is the surprise. He's the sleeper. He's very, very good. Anyway, Uncle Buck, him. Just our crew, so to speak. And interestingly enough, did you notice today when I asked Sabby Saps, I said, what do you think about Candace? She was very nice, but you could tell not exactly 100% on the wavelength, but respected her. Very good, very smart. Geraldo Rivera got thrown out of Iraq. Remember when Geraldo Rivera is so full of shit? Remember when he said he was going to go find Bin Laden, and they were out in the desert, and all of a sudden they hear, go, come on, let's go. And they get into a Jeep and they run, they take off, but the cameraman's still back there filming it. I'm thinking, come on, man. He did this, what was that, Willowbrook, the mental hospital? Willowbrook. Meadowbrook or Willowbrook? Yeah, Willowbrook. Same as the mall. Anyway, he went there and he said, I'm going to go in. He did some wonderful stuff. Now, I don't know if this is true, but some people claim that they showed him like climbing over the fence when the gate was open. You can walk in there. He's basically full of shit. But his famous thing was the vault. The vault was one of the first events of its kind. It was a hit. I'm sorry, even though they found nothing in it, he was great. Arsenio Hall, remember him? He tried to make it a comeback. It's like, no. Just like Montel Williams. Remember that show? Remember how bad things like Jerry Springer was? Maury Povich, you're not the father. I hated that. Imagine you're a kid and somebody shows you, excuse me, are you Darnell Jefferson? Yeah. Is your mother LaQuisha Jefferson? Yeah. Were they on the Maury Povich show? Yeah. Is this them? You're some guy clapping because he's not your father. They don't know. They're talking about your paternity as a joke. Losing. Sally Jeffrey, Steve Wilkos. Come on. He was just. You know who I met one time? It was on the. Jerry Springer and I really got into it one time. He's okay, but he was like a lefty. This is the only guy I know who, when he was a mayor of Cincinnati, he wrote a check to a hooker. Wrote a check. Jenny Jones, yes. Remember when she put those two gay, or this fellow says, you've got a gay crush. What? He goes, this man's got a crush on you. And he was so humiliated, he killed him. Ricky Lake, I was on the Ricky Lake show one time with Curtis Lewa. And it was about whether we should have curfews. And I'm sitting next to Curtis. And I'm looking at this crowd, and it looked like Boys in the Hood meets gangster rap meets NWA meets the Crips meets And they obviously were not. Oh, Amari, look at this. She's a new member. God bless you. Have some crumb cake. Give her a hand. Show her where to sit, everybody. Anyway, so there I was. Curtis is next to me. And I said, well, sure as hell, I'm not going to take his side. And I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, I'll be damned if I want to live in a society where these fine young people can't be out at whatever time they want just because they're out. Hell, I can do it. What's it, because I'm older? Yeah. They loved me. I love me. I thought, I'm not going to argue with them. My friend Curtis took the opposite of it. Anyway, so there was this woman. He goes, okay, now let's go to the women in the audience. This is Ricky Lay goes, let's go to lasagna. Her name, I shit you not, AMZ. Look at this, got a new member. Lasagna. I am not kidding you. So I kept turning to Curtis and said, lasagna? So he started laughing. I said, lasagna? I got a residual check for them for like 30 cents. I guess it was after or something. Sally Jesse Raphael and her big red glasses. Watched them when I was in high school. Yeah, what is she was okay. Richard. Remember Richard Bay? I knew Richard Bay very well. And he went so left. Well, Phil Donahue was wonderful. Morton Downey Jr., that thing just burned out. Remember when he put the swastika on his head backwards? Remember that one? He did it in the mirror. And he said, look, they did a swastika. I say, well, are they dyslexic? Richard Bay is B-E-Y, by the way. I was on a show one time called Ready, Set, Cook. Okay? It was on the Food Channel. I was in a competition. I was on with a woman named Naomi DiClemente. She was on PLJ. Great gal. And I went and I said, okay, I'm going to be on it and you'll be on it. This is before we didn't have VCR, none of this stuff. None. Anyway, well, I guess we did, but all of this great stuff is out there in the ether. Anyway, somewhere kind of on the west side, there was a little studio. And you remember how they did this? You would bring your ingredients and they would give you a professional chef. And one side was the green peppers, one side was a tomato. They would hold it up for the green peppers. We won. Anyway, I won. But I had this guy who was the head chef from it was a place at Rockefeller Center. It's the seafood place right by the rink, by the skating rink. There was a seafood, like a restaurant. He was a head chef. This is my guy. And he's ordering me around. Yeah, seafood, something, he grilled or something. I said, you're ordering me around. What are you doing? He's working around. I said, I don't work for you. And we're arguing. I said, first of all, this is a stupid TV show. I'm never going to see you again. Don't you order. It's like, chop that. I go, chop this. What are you talking about? Anyway, I won. Got a great knife set. They said, hey, I got these Wurstoff, whatever, these German knives, this, aprons. I got all this stuff, a sharpening. And she got like a bottle, like a bottle water, like a portable, like a jug or something. It was terrible. We cleaned up. That was my only time there. I was on it was Geraldo Rivera, and it was on a show with me, again, Curtis, Cindy Adams, Mercury Morris, people that had nothing to do. It was on CBS on 57th Street. I don't know what the hell it was. It was bizarre. But Al Sharpton was on there. Jerry Williams, do you remember late at night? Do you remember a guy by the name of, hang on a minute, Dr. Gene Scott? Did you ever see Dr. Gene Scott? Do you remember him? He was a man one of the greats, Dr. Gene Scott. And I loved him. Do you remember what he looked like? Do you remember him, folks? Hang on a minute. Where are you? There we go. Do you remember this fellow right here? Let me see if I can. Yes, it was. No, that's not it. Hang on a minute. I want you to see this dude because I liked him a lot. Hang on a minute. Here we go. This guy would come on. I would watch him religiously. Remember him, Dr. Gene Scott? Remember him? He was so great. He would sit there and just talk nonsense for hours. I loved him. He was phenomenal. I loved him. I used to love to hear Art Bell. Nobody can do Art Bell like Art Bell. Nobody. Don't even try it. George Nuri, Art Bell. I used to love, oh my God, so many great people. And you know what we really need? Believe it or not, what we need more great people and we need more characters. We need more characters, and it's so important that we have them. We need more characters. We need characters. We need to we need to have people out there that make people think like, wow, this guy's great. You know what I'm saying? Does this make sense to you? Does this make sense? And let me tell you something. It's also important that we have more people, more women, because we have more women right now who are taking the role of podcaster, and they're doing a tremendous job, an absolutely tremendous job. Did you ever watch During the Days? Remember Susan Powder? Do you remember when Richard Simmons did his show? Do you remember when Jane Fonda did her routines? Do you remember Ernest Angley? Let me tell you something right now. Ernest Angley, I Was Slain in the Spirit by Ernest Angley. I did the Sinner's Creed, the whole bit. It was wonderful. I loved him. Oh. How about Harris Faulkner? Now, Harris Faulkner does a good job, but I don't watch her show long enough. You know what I'm saying? Bob Ross and the Cajun Chef. Loved him. Cajun Chef was, I guarantee, I'm going to tell you how. Remember Jerry, what was his name? Jerry Clower. He reminded me kind of that. I'm going to tell you a story. There was Boudreaux and Thibodeau and how. He was one, I guarantee. Loved it. Anyway. All right, my friends. I've had enough of you. Wasn't this fun? Wasn't this fun? Justin Wilson, yes. But didn't we have fun tonight? So the winner of the first weirdest, even though this is Trump, forget it, is hands down, Kash Patel. You won 100%. Do you remember watching on Saturday afternoons Emeril Lagasse? I remember when I went to the cooking channel, Emeril cooked for us one time when he was first in town, and he was great. And now he looks so fat and so uncomfortable and so unfunny. Bam! He did all. He's so he just lost it. Who remembers Graham Kerr, the Galloping Gourmet? Who remembers the there was a guy called French Cooking or French Cuisine. Oh, I loved it. Phil Hartman did a takeoff of him. I watched him. There was a guy named Pasquale. Yan Can Cook. How about Marianne? What's her name with the woman with a bad wig? I used to watch any kind of cooking. Loved to watch that. Remember when Graham Kerr would get loaded out of his mind? Out of his mind. Bill O'Reilly got on my nerves. Not the warmest man. Not the warmest man. Not a big favorite. I do like his Bill's his history. What he did was absolutely incredible. By the way, Julia Childs was wonderful. She was so before that James Beard, but Julia Child loved her, loved her, loved her, loved her, loved her. Those are days when we had all these great people. Remember during your local stuff, your local. Here's one for you. Okay, this is how I can tell you're of my generation. Okay, okay. What was the name? If you're not of a certain age, you won't know this. What was the name of your miss on your local romper room? Everybody had a miss somebody. Ours was Miss June. What was your who was your romper room miss? Because we're doing it now. They don't see, honey. They never heard our conversations before. Miss Marianne. Miss Marianne. What was the name of your Miss Nancy? See, there we go. There we go. Every place had every country, everybody. Miss Jean, see this? You remember this. You don't know where your keys are. Rick Bayless. I liked him. Did you ever see Rick Bayless and his daughter? That was a weird thing. Rick Bayless. I don't know about Rick Bayless. Did you ever hear his real story? He's in Chicago, the Mexican guy. Miss Sally, Miss Louise. Look at this. Yeah, listen. We had a Freddie Freihofer. I'll bet you did. I'll bet you did. Paul Harvey. We're not talking about Paul Harvey. Captain Kangaroo. Loved him. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 Miss Molly, good golly, Miss Molly. When Mr. Green Jeans, how about these great names? Dancing Bear, Bunny Rabbit. They didn't spend a lot of time working on the names. And they had Fred, remember that CGI kind of a weird thing? It was, I don't even know what that was about. What was his name? Lumpy Burnett or Lumpy, what was his name? No, his name was Mr. Green Jeans. Snuffy, Mr. Green Jeans. His name was Hugh Branham. Who the hell am I thinking of? Hugh Branham was somebody lumpy. Let me see, lumpy program. His name was Lumpy. Well, there was a kid named Lumpy Barnett, Lumpy somebody. I'm going to worry on this. Lumpy, but there was a guy who was on the show, Hugh Branham. But there was by the way, the story about, they came up with these stories about Bob Keeshan, and he was in the war, and he might have been in the Marines, but he wasn't, with Lee Marvin, and Mr. Rogers was a Navy SEAL, and he wore sweaters because of the tattoos and all. They made up this stuff, but I watched that was On Your Way to School. Kugler, Fran, and Ollie, weird. Never got it. Also, you know what I didn't like? Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. It was a suck. It was like, what are you doing? Remember the New Zoo Review, and then there was Blues Clues. Whatever happened to that guy? Huh? Yeah. Remember that fellow from, well, let me tell you something. Leave It to Beaver was one of the best shows. That was a part of American propaganda. Believe it or not, to play or to show the Russians. I'm serious. Absolutely, positively. Beaver was, of course, I think Tony Down, we lost him. Beaver was, of course, Jerry Mathers. Robert Billingsley died. Hugh Beaumont. Richard Deacon was Fred Rutherford. Lumpy was Frank Bank, was his real name. Stanley Fafara was Whitey. Rusty Stevens was Larry Mondello. Remember Miss Canfield? And, of course, Ken Osmond, who was the great Eddie Haskell. And Ken Osmond became a police, I think a motorcycle cop for LAPD, took a bullet or something in real life. Remember Bobby Sherman? If you're old enough for that, my sister was into Bobby Sherman, 16 magazine, all that bullshit. Anyway, Bobby Sherman became eventually like an EMS driver. I mean, these were these were really, big stars at the time. They were huge. But we used to hear these stories that Eddie Haskell was Alice Cooper and all this stuff. How about that? Remember the kid? Hey, Mikey. He likes anything. That Mikey ate, what was it? Not Mentos, but something. Oh, Pop Rocks and Coke and died. Remember that story? Anyway, enough. I'm just rambling. Incoherent. Tab Hunter. My friends, thank you for showing this. This is Americana. You see, a lot of these whippersnappers, as you know, a lot of these youngsters today, they don't have that. They won't be able to look back and say, what was the name of your Miss whoever it was? Remember that romper room? Bend and stretch, reach for the sky. There goes Jupiter. There goes Mars. Didn't even rhyme. I say, what is this? She had that magic thing. Goes, and I see Jerry and Lorraine, and I see Chrissy Phoebe, and I see Jen Els, and I see Christy Carpio, 647. Be weird today, all these names with the numbers. But we watched it, and it was very calm. Nobody got upset. Nobody got, there was no profanity, no anger. Maynard G. Krebs, that whole Dobie Gillis thing, that was a little bit. I remember shows that are so obscure. Checkmate with Sebastian Cabot. Okay, remember Arnie with Herschel Bernardi, who played the voice of who? Charlie Tuna. That's right, my friends. I've had enough. Thank you, my friends. Please do me a favor. Like this. Do you know that so many of our subscriptions are unsubscribed for reasons I do not know why? So make sure you remain subscribed. Please hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. So in case we do this again, please follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. 2 great videos today. Must-sees. You must see them. So follow them right now. Lynn's Warriors. Do it right now. Do what I say. Do me a favor. If you love me, if you love us, if you love what's good for children and justice, Lynn's Warriors on YouTube, okay? Anyway, my friends, we'll see you tomorrow. And tonight, if you're interested, from 2 to 5 a.m., 2 to 5 a.m. on WABC, that's 77 WABC. You can go on WABCradio.com. You can get the app. I'm going to be on talking to the normies and trying my best not to frighten them, because I can't talk to them when I talk to you about it. I can't, because they are on a diet of talk radio, and we have to. Some things don't agree with their system, so to speak. So I will speak cordially and respectfully, but will be rather elliptical when it comes to not necessarily landing on or targeting those particular piquant worldviews that could cause a problem. All right, my friends, have a great and glorious night. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da.